SaveTheSix.co.uk, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
Hello. It's Thursday night, which can only mean one thing. This shirt is fuchsia-ish, something along those lines. You will note that in a physical sense, I'm on my own tonight, but I'm not really. I've got a special guest that's joining me by the wonders of satellite techno trickery and other things like Skype and Apple Macs and stuff like that, and it's all going to be good. We're going to be talking about all sorts of things. My special guest, I should say, is Chris. Chris, hello.
Hello, Dave. Hello, everybody in the room and everybody who's watching on video on demand.
Indeed. See, Chris coming in big and beautiful as ever, blonde, and it's all natural as well. Right. Not really.
I told me owner, I bought the bottle myself. That's a damn good question, isn't it? I've no idea. Can I just say buzz? Zzz.
Buzz.
Just come in the room.
Buzz. Dear viewer, if you are watching on video on demand and you have never seen the show live and played in the chat room, can I advise you that it's probably the best fun you can have, both standing up and with your clothes on, or even sitting down and with your clothes on. Either way, it's all brilliant fun. No Dave audio on the cat shot. I know why that is. I've just worked that one out. 2 seconds. There we are. Davey me. Technology is marvellous stuff. Let's try it again. Are you now getting my audio, Cat? Can you speak?
I don't know if anybody can hear or see me. I know you can see me, but I'm going to do it again for the sake of Bears. Bears! Nice to have you join us, and welcome to everybody that's joined us in chat and everybody that's watching on video on demand.
Indeed, I will second that, and I will say you have joined and are watching the Haze Hour! Indeed, yes it is, it's the Haze Hour. And here we are, my name's David Dawn. With me via Skype and wonderful stuff like that is the effervescent loveliness's mother. The cat. The cat that got the cream, if you like. And yes, it's all good stuff. All very, very good stuff. Tonight we are going to be looking, he said, coming back to himself, we're going to be looking at all kinds of things tonight. Both Cat and I have got Vamos from different places, it has to be said, and we're going to compare notes on the Vamos. I've seen anyway, going around the forums, lots and lots of people have been buying these things as a kind of a really cost-effective entry into the world of power-controlled vaping, I believe is the term. So we're going to have a look at that, and then, I don't know about you, but have you been into a garage lately and seen the number of places that have got, what do you call those things? Disposable e-cigs. They're all over the place. And I've been wandering about the place, and I bought one yesterday when I was hurtling off to IKEA for purposes undetermined. So I bought one and I thought we'd have a look at that tonight. I'm going to bring you up to date on the Kanga MT3 and how that's been working since we looked at it last week. And Sav's on a journey. She's going to the journey to rebuildableness, and she's filming every step on the way. And there's a new turn for the betterer that's been going on, and it's all good. And it wasn't Kat that did it. I don't think she helped on this one at all, did you, Chris?
No. Obviously, I helped her as far as guidance was concerned, but she did it all on her own.
So there you go. I tell you, I think we'll go straight into that in actual fact, because it's chuffed me to little blue monkey nuts. Because Sav has been, I think it's safe to say, quite not stuck in her ways, but very, very picky and choosy about what she would use. And she is, and she's right to be, you know, because you find what you like and you stick with it, and if you try something new and it doesn't live up to your expectations, then you'll move on. So there's a kind of a certain set of parameters that she works to. But I think we have a happy bunny. I think we have a very happy bunny. So I think we'll take a look at what she's been up to, shall we? Now, I've got her in the cupboard under the stairs. So Sav, it's over to you.
Thanks, Steve. Right, as you can see, I've got a new toy. And before I tell you much more about it, I've got a little bit of video of when it arrived. So I'll show you that first. Okay. 5 mil. What's in the bag? Super good 5 mil. Maybe a while. Spheroid. What's in the bag? The spheroid. The stuff that makes the spheroid work. Quick. Wire. Squishy stuff. And O-rings. Right, well, that was it arriving. And as you can see, it's all assembled and working nicely. I'll fill you in on the story from then until now. Me and Kat spent 2 hours setting up, filming, getting everything just right of how to get the spheroid working. And there was an error on the camera and we lost a lot. Obviously by then it was set up and working and I was way home with it. So I've come back to show you kind of how we got there. Right, this is it, all assembled with a rather disappointing dip tip drift tip, as I couldn't find a one that complemented it. And then I'll take it off and show you the finished setup. Whilst I'm taking it apart, I will tell you it wasn't as easy as a friend of mine who will forever be known as the Belgian said it would be. Simply because I didn't have the right tools to take the end bit off. So if you do get one of these, I bought a little toolkit with a Torx T20. Well, I thought it had a Torx T20 and apparently it didn't, but a latex glove and a bit of improvisation, and we managed to get the end off. It's now finger tight so that I can unscrew it. Basically what you do, you get your wad and stuff and you wrap it round. There's a centre post that is in there. You wrap your wad round and then that goes in there. I've just put a dirty, grip, big juice finger mark on it. That goes in there screws on. As I say, mine's finger tight because I'm quite feeble when it comes to these things, and you'd fill the juice the same way you'd fill a cartomizer. That one's looking rather grubby in there, but that's because the juice I'm using is a very dark juice. Very grubby coil. Currently looks like that. I'll show you the basic idea. I mean, you've all seen how to do these, and there are some very, very good videos out there on how to set up the spheroid. But the quick way, well, the quick sort of idea is you loop your wick, like so. You have your wire, which you do get some supplied. You wrap your wire round however many coils you'd want. I think I did 4. Then attach it to the base of the spheroid, and then you trim your wicks like so. And then they go in there like so. Screw base together. Obviously you fill this with your juice. That's it. So that was as complicated as it was. It really was simple. Once you get the end off, and that sounds bad. Once you get the top off, it really is very easy and lovely. Flavour, gorgeous. Vapour, plenty. I mean, this is a predominantly PG juice that's in here, and it's producing lovely. The coil that I made is 2 ohm coil. It's running at 8 watts on the Darwin. Beautiful. So as I say, this was bought on recommendation of the Belgian, who had one, and he was over in the UK and lost his in a taxi. Don't ask. And he asked me if I would be able to get him one to send him over when Vaporizers got them in stock. And I thought, I'm going to get myself one of these. He said it's simple. Apart from a few little hiccups, it was, and that's it. That's my story of the spheroid, and I'm not dreading having to re-wick it. So, over to you, Dave.
Well, thank you. Now, before we go any further, at the risk of embarrassing Sav greatly, I would like everybody in chat, please, to wish her a very happy birthday, for today she is 21 again, plus VAT and tax, postage and packaging and 1 or 2 other bits, mayhap. But it is her birthday. She's the birthday girl today, and I'm also here to tell you that a little earlier on she posted in our Skype chat that we use to keep the team all together that she had re-wicked it for a second time perfectly and got it right first time. So there you go. Well done, Sav, and happy birthday to you, my lovely. Very, very many more of them, and I sincerely hope you will have many of them. And also, of course, congratulations to Kat for having managed to mother her, for bringing her into the world.
Aye, I was there on the day, you know.
You don't look old enough to have a 22-year-old daughter.
I'm like heck.
Where's my glasses
But
gone?
I was there on the day, I remember it.
Were you? I remember I was with my mother on my birthday as well, the day I was born. You like to be with your mother at a time like that, don't you?
You do. Aye.
Yes.
You do.
It's all very
always
good.
good.
All very good. I will say, having watched that video now for the 3rd time, that little part where it shows you the wadding round the tube on the inside, it does look a little bit like a tampon. And with that juice, a used one, but never mind, we'll not...
Don't go there, Dave, don't go there.
No, we'll not go there. We'll not go there. But yeah, I mean, have you had any input into coiling the spheroid, or did Sav do that all by her itself?
No, she did it by herself because she's had a little bit of experience with the BIM.
Right.
And that was where I came in to show her how to, wrap it, etc. But this was easier again because it's just a case of folding over the actual wick and then just wrapping around it. So I didn't have any input. She did it herself. I was trying to stop myself falling over cameras and lights and things, so I had enough to do at the time.
Yes, I saw it was cat cam because there was motion in the camera, which was great. Yeah, I've got to say, every time I've seen her to talk to since, she's either had that in her hand or the MT3. She seems to be flitting between the two of them at the minute, which is all good. And apparently she said in chat that she'll not be using that juice again. I didn't even ask what it was. It's probably one of these American ones with a funny name, like Virgin's Blood, or they've got some queer names for them. We'll not go there. No, we'll definitely not go there. Not in any way, shape or form. I'm going to play a little video in before we go to the adverts. This is, if you were watching last night on VT Talk, dear viewer, I'll go full screen for this. You will have seen Clive Bates, who I think he's a god, in all honesty. The guy knows what he's talking about. He's got miles more information than we have from the insider knowledge, kind of the insider trading thing, and he gave some very, very good advice across yesterday. And the news is now getting better. We've heard, for instance, that there are 4 MEPs of, I think it was 23 in Denmark, wasn't it, Chris?
4, I believe.
4 of them out of 23 that have pledged.
4 out of 13, Dave.
Or 4 out of 13, that's an even better number, that have already said that they will fight the inclusion of e-cigs in the Tobacco Products Directive. I've been in touch with my MP and my MEP, or one of my MEPs, Martin Callanan, who actually sits on the committee that's going to be considering this, Martin Callanan, and I've had an email back from him, which is extremely positive, asking for more information so that he can help put the file together. So again, great guy to get hold of, and I'm really pleased to be able to pass that on. So if he's your MEP, write to him, give him all the information you can, the more the merrier. And if you need to know how to do that, then take a couple of minutes of your time and watch this.
So the simple thing to do is to start just by draft a letter. Draft up what you think about this, you personally, what you absolutely think about it, and use that letter to write to your MEPs, and you'll probably have half a dozen MEPs if you're typical, because of the way the MEP system is organised. You'll have one MP. You can write a letter to them, and that's got you started. That's got you making an impression and starting to add to their post bag. Now, everybody can do this, and everybody who feels at risk from this type of regulation should do it. We live in a democracy, and it requires people to stand up and be counted when things are happening that they don't like, because you can't just rely on elections for this sort of thing. So the guide on my website, clivebates.com, says basically who to write to, how to find them. There's a really good website called writetothem.org. Really, really good. Totally recommend it. It's a total labour-saving device, which you type in your postcode, it will tell you who your MP is, who your MEP is, and it will set you up to email a letter to them, to all of them. I always recommend writing, taking a bit of time over it. If it's important to you, take a bit of time over it. Write individual letters to each of your MEPs and your MP, and then you've got to think about what you're going to say in these letters. And all the letters can be basically the same, maybe with a bit of personalisation, but all the letters can be basically the same. You want to talk about your own experience and why it matters to you. You want to talk about why you think the directive is, or what's proposed is bad, and particularly if it's bad for you personally. And I keep stressing the you personally thing because authenticity counts. The real impact on real people really matters to politicians. not some sort of theoretical thing that's been worked out through a study, but what it means to you personally, because that's what they're thinking of. That's what they're thinking of when they're trying to get your vote and trying to respond to what you need. Then you need some ideas for what might be done. And then you want to make sure that you frame the letter in a way that gets a response. And a lot of people just will sit down and write down their point of view. But if you ask for a response, or you ask them to do something, they either have to do it or reply that they're not going to do it. So that's the sort of fourth element of writing a good letter. Try and make sure that you trigger some action from the letter that you're doing.
SaveTheSigs.co.uk, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
Good evening, eventually. Took a little while to get things lined up and ready to go. But I'm here now, so welcome to the second episode.
So there we go, Rebecca. Room and not long to go now. So yeah, I was talking to my son, and he's watching me make things before.
And a great gift to you. It is Tuesday, the 20th of November 2012, and looking into basic
But the Good Trust TV tells us tonight, the Wednesday night, it is time for the one and only popular programme called VT Talk. This is the Haze Hour again. The kid was just saying if it wasn't for the titles, he wouldn't come and do the show. He loves it so much better.
iVapor and iVapor Elixir, based in Yorkshire, for your e-cig needs. That's ivapor.co.uk and ivapor-elixir.co.uk. iVapor and ivapor-elixir.co.uk are proud sponsors of vaportrails.tv.
Save the Sigs, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
Yes. Now you'll see that there's a face here.
Hello.
This is my neighbour, Martin.
Yeah, you can say my name.
Yes, my neighbour Martin, whose wife, Steph, on Friday night was sitting trying every one of these that I had with me. These are the Shisha from SaveTheSigs.co.uk, and your face was actually a picture while she was doing all of that. It was, because it's years and years since she smoked, isn't it?
Oh gosh, let me see. More than I care to imagine, at least 25, yeah.
There you go, 25 years, and she was sitting, chuffing away, it has to be said, on, well, we started with the cappuccino one, and I had to admit, I had to grab it back out of her hands.
Yeah.
Yes, she was very, very taken with this. But what did you know of e-cigs prior to me wandering about the place?
Ooh, pretty much nothing really. I'd seen one or two people with an e-cig very much like that one.
Right.
They can't be smoking there. Then I realised that that's not normal smoke cloud, so I thought, oh, something else.
So as a completely non-smoker and a very athletic one, I have to say, Martin cycles from Ireland to England for charitable purposes.
Special occasion.
Well, yes, I know, but I still don't understand how you managed to get the damn thing across the sea.
Pedalo.
Pedalo, fair enough. But very fit and stuff like that. Now, it didn't occur to me until 2:45 when we got kicked out of this do on Friday night. It was the Mojitos what done it, don't you know? Cheers, everybody, and happy birthday, Sav. Nice, that's one of Steph's. That's definitely one of Steph's. Whoa, yes.
There's two of Steph's.
Two of Steph's, even better. By the end of the show, yours truly will be flat on his back. Anyway, yes, I didn't realise, but I was really banging it out on Friday night. It didn't occur to me. I was so comfortable. But were you made uncomfortable by what I was doing?
Well, I'm used to you. No, not really. Of course, there was a few other neighbours there which may have not been as used to you, but there were a few sails to the window, weren't there too? So
I don't think anybody objected, did they?
no, I don't think anyone was uncomfortable at all. The very fact that they stayed until near enough 3 o'clock is a fairly good indicator they were comfortable.
Absolutely. And I've got to say, the only slight negative was that none of us realised that one of the ladies there hates coffee. And of course, the first drag that she had on one of these,
the first one she tried,
was the cappuccino one. Modesty prevents me from saying what she said at that point in time.
Yeah.
But it was...
Yeah, she screamed, didn't she? She get away from me.
It was something along those lines, yes. I've only ever heard that once before. That was at a party and there were no clothes involved, but never mind. Chris, you've been using one of these e-shishas as well, haven't you?
I have, yes. My lovely daughter bought me one, and it's the Apple one. And I'm tickled with the crystal. I love that. Absolutely love that. I'd be really proud to be seen out and about with one of these. And the taste is really, really quite strong.
Yes, I must admit the apple is very apparent in that.
Yeah, you can almost pin it down to an exact type of apple, can't you? You know, I mean, that's definitely, to me, that's a golden delicious, or possibly going over to a Granny Smith. But the only complaint I've got about this, and it's very minor, is I would like a little bit more vapour to chew on.
Yeah,
but
but
flavour, wow.
That's kind of the difference between smoking and shisha, if you like, because of the output from the molasses through the water in a shisha pipe. You don't get much in the way of smoke or vapour or whatever it is you want to... Substrate. We'll call it substrate. Substrate's a good word, isn't it?
It's good enough.
You know what substrate means.
It's a good word, yeah.
It's a brilliant word, substrate. You don't get much of the substrate, but you do get... I think these are actually more flavourful than shisha from memory, although it's been a while since last I talked on one of those things. But certainly, as I say, at this do, all right, we'd all had a few drinks, and that is a mojito. To give you some idea of size, that's a mojito beside his Emax. Yes, I'm a lucky lad, I am. And I should point out, I'm drinking this for charity, aren't I?
Yeah, for a good cause.
I'm drinking it for a good cause. Got nothing to do with enjoyment in any way, shape or form.
Slave to the cause.
Absolutely, yeah. Without any shadow of a doubt. That's fair, isn't it, Chris?
Absolutely, and I can see how hard it is for you.
It's such an effort. It really is. Yeah. I mean, you know, fresh mint leaves in there and the ice and the white rum and it's very nice indeed.
Sugar syrup and lime juice.
And lime, yes, syrup and lime juice. So there you go. That's a non-vapors, non-e-cig, non-smoker ever take on it, and people that have been quit. She hasn't gone and bought any fags or anything like that.
Absolutely not. No.
So they're not a gateway either.
No, not at all.
Because there's some of these nuggets out there in EU land are saying that things like the e-shish and e-cigs are gateways to smoking.
Just an excuse to have a go, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. So thank you very much for bringing those across, Martin.
Welcome, enjoy.
My secretary is across there with money in hand.
Money?
Oh yes.
I know that we owe you some, I think.
No. Can we buy another 6, please?
Tonight?
I'm not. Hey, I tell you what. Why not? I don't care. It could be absolutely fine. And we need to blast on. Thanks again for dropping in, Martin. It's been a pleasure to see you. And I'll bring a cake across.
Ooh.
I'll cook a yoghurt cake.
Intriguing.
I might even film it.
All right. Okay, then cheers.
Okay, I'll see you later. That's Martin. Thanks for calling in.
No bother.
And it was only a joke, you know, that I said bring them across about 9:30 on Thursday night. But here they are. Mojitos. What do you make of that, Chris?
I'm jealous.
I tell you what. Hey, I've got great neighbours, I have.
You have that.
I must as well. Keith called round earlier on and sent his apologies. His wife is not at all well, and he's poorly bad in bed with a shawl on both feet and one sock, waiting for the doctor to come and rub his chest with Vic, so he can't make it tonight. But he's keeping his fingers crossed and touching wood that he'll be back with us next week. Shall we plough on and talk about these Vamos, Chris?
Can we? Because I've had a bit of a, not an emergency, but a bit of a faff going on here.
Oh, do
as
tell.
You were talking about your mojitos.
Mojitos, yes. Which I must keep on drinking.
Yesterday
it's for charity.
you brought me, or the other day, whenever it was, what do you call this? Is it a start or?
It's called it's called a short stop.
A start.
Called
Well,
a
it was close.
it's I'm sure that my sponsor, e-cigs, is really going to love you calling it a stop
He
start.
knows what I'm like. Daz knows everything's a doofer.
It's called a short stop, and it's
You brought me that
yes,
doofer.
yes, the doofer.
And everything was working really, really well until I changed batteries before the show.
Right.
And my usual, I had a pile of batteries there to charge, and I hadn't charged them. And the only one I had that was charged was
Oh, right, yes.
right, we've all seen these. It didn't come with the Vamo, may I say.
No, that's from the original lava tube.
It came with the original lava tube. And I put that in. Now, I haven't used the e-cig since I put it in, other than looking at the ice that I had on the top of it and making sure it had juice in that in.
Right.
And I picked it up as you were talking mojitos, and did have the doofer on the bottom there.
Right.
And the heat from the bottom, it was so hot, I had to draw my finger away.
Really?
Yeah. Really.
The
So I got this out.
Uh-huh.
And by this time I've got a battery, a decent one, fairly well charged, so that's back in it now.
Uh-huh.
And everything has cooled down nicely.
Right.
I left this out because it was a bit hot as well.
Yes, well, the short stop works by temperature. So, although the base of your Vamo is getting hot, and we'll come on to that, if the short stop hasn't cut the current, it's at a safe level, for want of a better phrase. So it's not going to cause you any damage, is what I mean, and the battery's not going to blow up, because it's not providing enough current to cause the short stop to stop working. So it's safe enough, and that's one of the reasons for using a short stop, is if you're not sure about the safety temperature wise of something, you could use it for that. But like you, where did you get your Vamo from?
I ordered it from Vapor World.
Yes, because that's the gold one, isn't it?
It's the gold one, and I had quite a few issues with it to start with because I didn't know how to use it. You know, I had no clue as to how to find the homage of the atomizer, how to find out what life was left in my battery. I had no clue of any of that. So I did find eventually a manual that I could download over on ECF actually. But I found that every battery I put in it, the thing didn't work.
Right.
You know, and then I read on this manual that you needed this battery works, that doesn't, that doesn't, that doesn't, that doesn't, that doesn't, and so on, until I eventually got to 2 or 3 that do.
Yes.
And I thought, this is ridiculous. And when I actually put a battery in, that it stated, every time I picked it up, it actually went off, and I had to press 5 times again.
Right.
And it was rattling away like I didn't know what, you know.
Yes. Well,
so I took the bottom off and I had a look at the spring.
Yes.
Which is floating around here somewhere, and of course I can't find it, which is part of the course. Oh, of course the cat's been up here, hasn't it?
Yes.
There we go.
Not worse
the
than cats.
Spring. And it was a tiny little spring in there, and I thought, get rid of that. So that went the journey, and I replaced it with the spring out of my silver bullet, and suddenly every battery worked. And no rattling, no problem at all, except for this weird heating, which was happening quite a lot, and it was very hot.
Right.
The arrival of this little gadget from Mr. Dawn, the doofer from Safer Sig,
Shut stop.
solved the problem. Right, it did. I haven't had the heating thing until I put this device in.
Yes.
So all in all, once I've got all that sorted, what do I think of the Vamo? Well, it's okay. I'm not very happy with the 5-click thing. It's a bit fast for me, but that's me.
Yes. Slow and sure. Slow
but
and
other
sure.
than that, yeah, I mean, you've got one now, Dave. What's your opinion?
Well, I was messing about as I usually do on Fluffy Bunnies, my home from home, the All About forum, and I've now got a little line underneath my name on the left hand side there, the left hand side where it says I'm a Fluffy Bunny too. So we're all Fluffy Bunnies over there. And everybody was buying them, and somebody posted up that Vaporscape had stainless steel ones, and you know what I'm like for stainless steel.
Yes, you like your stainless steel.
I love me stainless steel, so I thought, oh, why not? And I bought one, and it arrived Monday, anyway, over the weekend. And when it came, I was getting exactly the same as you. The bottom end was heating up, and then yesterday, through the door came a padded envelope, and inside the padded envelope was this bag that said replacement spring stainless steel Vamo, was what it said. And he puts that up, there it goes, replacement spring stainless steel Vamo. And if I take it out, it's beautiful shiny copper, as you can see. And first thing I did was stick it on a meter, and it is absolutely no resistance to it at all.
That's a corker.
It's a beauty, and I mean, it's made to fit. It does the job perfectly well. As per usual, I've got my my favourite batteries, which is the CGR 18650CH that goes in there.
That's what I have in here right now.
Yeah.
And I've put my little doofer back in, so all's back in where it should be.
I've got to be honest, I'm not sure whether it's the makers of the Vamo that have put all these springs out for people to have them replaced, because I know there's one or two vendors that have just kind of stopped, certainly the stainless steel ones, because of this problem with the spring. So I'm assuming that anybody that's got a Vamo that's had heating problems will be getting a spring at some point, because I'm assuming the manufacturers have sent them out, although I don't know, I could be wrong. But in terms of using it, it's actually quite easy once you work out what does which. Which I've managed, and I shall try to demonstrate if I can. The left hand, the minus button, the one that would take down your voltage or wattage depending on what mode you've got it in, and I need to give this 5 clicks to switch it on because I've had the battery off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it lights up like that. If you press the left hand button and hold it down, it'll tell you that there's 4 volts left in the battery, or however many volts are left. If you press the right hand button and hold it down, it tells you what the ohmage, as you would say, Kat, or the
ohmage,
the resistance of your device is. And if you hold them both down, it will switch it from watts to volts, or from volts to watts. And then you've got obviously to reset it, because it'll always set it to the bottom, which is 3 volts or 3 watts. If you hold either one of these down for more than 10 seconds, it'll switch it, he said, into RMS mode. It comes in RMS mode, just leave it there. There's no point in messing about with anything else. It doesn't need anything else to be done with it. It just works like that. So it's actually quite easy to use. And I've got to say, with this new spring in, I have had no heatage at the bottom end whatsoever, and it being stainless steel, I rather like the way it works. I've had it teamed up with the MT3 since it arrived, and it's doing the job quite nicely indeed. So now that you've got the heatage sorted out and you've got the battery sorted out properly, Chris, how are you? What's your take on it?
It's okay. To say I'm fully trusted again, no. Once you've had a slight problem, no matter what it is, in my case, that's it. My trust is kind of broken, you know. So I'm constantly sort of feeling for it heating up, etc. But I'm not likely to go across to wattage. I'm likely to stick where I am. And on this Jenny, it's working really, really nicely. The Ivy's working very nicely with it.
Good.
And that's only at 3.7. You know, and I'm getting everything I want from it at 3.7. Yes.
I think to a large degree, you know, it depends on are you a volts man or are you a watts man or woman or whatever. I think in watts because watts to me simply says temperature, you know.
Yeah.
The more the watts, the greater the temperature. And to be honest, I can never really be that bothered about working out what the resistance of the device is that I'm using. I'm not looking to be constantly getting a multimeter out and checking it all out. But at the price, as an intro, if somebody was looking to get into variable voltage or power controlled, quick question, and I'm going to give you 3 choices: buy, try, or avoid. Which one?
Try. For me, the bits I like about the Vamo, or indeed any of these devices, is the fact I can check because I don't have a multimeter, and I can check what, and I'm going to use my word again, the homage is on my Atty. I like that. I'm newfangled with the idea of checking what's left in my battery. I like that.
Yes, I've never known you do that before.
No, I've never done it. So I do like that facility, and I have to say, when I'm coiling a rebuildable, I'll stick it on here to check what the resistance is, and I think, all right, yeah, okay. So yes, for that type of thing, go for it. But if you're going to go for it, my advice is go to the cheaper end of the market. You know that they are out there for about £30, and I've seen some as high as £98.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go that high.
No, I would go for the cheaper end of the market, see how you get on. And I mean, I haven't tried the Z-Max, so I can't obviously quote on that, but yeah. What about you? What's your feeling?
Well, as I say, I mean, in terms of the look and feel of the thing, I like it. It's nice and chunky. I'm not that keen on really, really light mods, because I'm a big heavy fella. And quite honestly, something that feels like and looks like just looks kind of wrong in my hands, I sometimes think. But since this copper spring arrived from Vaporscape, it's doing the job really, really well. And teamed up with this MT3, which we may talk about a little bit later on if we get the time. It's working superbly well at 8 watts. I mean, I used to be a 10 watt man. This thing at 8 watts, well, I've just got to take a drag and you'll see. It's gorgeous, any excuse.
Sorry, I've got a cat here who's stealing me spring.
That's never any good.
Tell you out secret.
I tell you what, we've got to go into the adverts, but while we do, all of you that are in chat at the moment that have a Vamo or have tried a Vamo, you've got 3 choices: buy, try, or avoid. Just type one word in, please: buy, try, or avoid. Your opinion, and we'll share that with everybody when we come back, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Safersix.co.uk, sponsors of the Haze Hour. e-cigs, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
Yes, indeed. Now, chat has been very, very quick, and we've got, I think it was 10 or 11 buys, 3 tries, 1 avoid. It's not exactly scientific, but it's as close as we're going to get. So apparently the votes from the floor says buy one, and I think, you know, it's fair enough. If you can get it at a good price, and Disco Des in chat is busily telling everybody that he managed to get his for sub £20 from China. So there you go. That's that. Now, I mentioned earlier on that in my journey around various different places, I've been driving all over lately. This being a grandad suits me. I get sent on all kinds of little jobs. Can you buy this? Can you get that? Can you take us here? Can you go there? Doing all that kind of stuff. And I'm quite enjoying it, but I've been putting a lot more diesel into the car than I usually do. And you'll have seen me waving this thing about. Let's go to the overhead shot, he said, trying to find his way around the technology. And I bought this yesterday as I went tottering off to IKEA, of all places. And this is the Nicolites new lifelike size tobacco flavour nicotine high 16mg 20 cigarette equivalent disposable electronic cigarette. That's what it says on all of this lot here. On the back it says open packet and remove the electronic cigarette inside. Remove and dispose of the rubber casing from the end of the cigarette. Please note you should not use the rubber casing to cover any part of the Nicolite after you've started using it. And then it's ready to use, just like a cigarette. It'll last for up to 20 traditional cigarettes. When there is no more vapour produced upon inhalation, the filter is empty and the whole device must be disposed of properly, is what it says. So, having paid my £4.95 for it, as you do, I decided I'd give it a try. And I'm here to tell you, the first problem with this, aside from how it looks, is the fact that it's practically impossible to get the bloud thing out of the packet. The front bit that you expect to be flexible, it's stiff. It's as stiff as a bull's lug, and it takes an awful lot. I have to take the scissors to it. If you're out and about in the car and you get one of these things as a standby, trust me on this, you're going to bust your fingernails getting it out. However, get it out I did, and we'll go back to closey uppy cam and let you have a look at it. And here we go. It's pretty well branded, as you can see. It's got all the www.nicolites.com down it, and a little H there. I think that means it's been in red dwarf as a hologram, or it may be that it's high, I don't know. And it's kind of, they've even got the wrap round it so that it wraps slightly over the ashy end of it, and it is quite cigar-like in its look. A lot heavier though than the Enjoy King that we were looking at last week, but that's the beastie as it comes, and in all honesty it's now special. Cat would absolutely hate the draw on it. It is so light, it's incredibly light, the draw on this thing. In fact, I can lung it quite easily. And if you lung it, you still don't get a fat lot of vapour out of it. There is almost zero throat hit, and that's on top of mojitos, and alcohol I find increases the throat hit a bit. Would I buy another one? Only if I was in absolutely dire straits. It's not something that I particularly like, and certainly in comparison with the Enjoy King, it's not going to do the job in any way, shape or form. But while we're on the subject of new things, and that's just going to get laid down out of the way, my partner in crime has got something brand new to her in her hand, that black thing.
The black thing, the NGP.
Now, you're going to do a full piece on this, aren't you?
I will do. I'll have a quick looky at it for you.
But that's very, very different to the one I've got. That's a press button one.
It is.
Mine are either ring fire or touch fire. Yours is all in a lovely, that's a gorgeous black finish.
It is.
And am I right in thinking the tank comes off that as well?
It does, and it actually comes with a spare tank.
Does it, begob and begorra?
Begorra, it does.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to leave that as a little bit of a tease, I am. Because Kat's not the only one of the team that's got one of them. I think Mark Jones has as well, hasn't he?
Mark has, and we intend to have a little look at it together.
Lovely. Will that be for next week?
It will be.
Oh, cracking. I'm looking forward to seeing that, because that looks... It looks the mutts, it does. It looks really nice. I'll be interested to see about that. But I did want to come back and fill everybody in on the Kanga MT3 that came in last week. Since I got these up from Safer Cigs, I have noticed as well that Sav now has one in pink, birthday girl. And you'll have seen her using it around the place, Kat. Have you seen it out of her mouth since she got it?
She was using it all day today until she got her Spheroid back, you know, and rewicked that. I think it's, she's finding it difficult as to which one to choose. So she's like me, she's got different juices in different things. So she's got the Spheroid up on, I can't remember what she's got it on now, probably the Darwin, on top of a gooseneck.
Yes, it looked like it on the video.
Then she's got the MT3, the bright pink thing.
Oh God, and is it ever bright?
Yeah.
It makes this shirt look positively dull. It is the brightest fuchsia I have ever seen in my life, and I think I want one. Not that I'm confused. I'm solid in my manliness. But let me tell you what my experiences are with this MT3. You may recall that it must be 6 weeks ago now. I did kind of a beginner's guide as to what to buy, and said I thought that a Vision Spinner or a Ego Twist with the Vision Ego on top was probably the way to go. And I'm beginning to think that this MT3 might actually be usurping that as the choice. It's a doddle to fill. I've now put, I've got to work this out, about 60 mils through this one with the same atomizer coils set up and tube and what have you in the bottom. It's hardly been out of my hands, I've got to say. I'm using it in preference to anything else, and for a number of reasons. One of them is I can just shove it in any pocket, I can lie it down flat, I can do whatever it is I want to do with it. It's not an issue. I kind of like the customizability. Is that a right word, Chris?
Well, if it wasn't, it is now.
Well, I kind of like the customizability of the Genesis style atomizers, because you can make them do more or less whatever you want them to do. But what I'm finding with this is it's almost as good, and it produces like a steam train. You know, without having to go to any bother, it produces like a steam train. Flavour is very, very good. I can't complain about the flavour at all. I've got RY High 5 in this, and it tastes exactly the way it should do, and really I ought to know. The only slight niggle I've got, and my darling wife has found the same thing, is when the juice gets down to the bottom of the window, so you've got, I don't know, maybe 10 drops left, it does get a little bit gurgly. There's a little bit of air there that just lets it get in and kind of gurgle a touch. Now, what I've found the best way to cope with that, if I'm not handy to put some more juice in, is just to whack the wattage up a little bit, and it burns the juice off quicker. And in actual fact, it gives you like a mega vape, if you want to call it that. You just get absolute barrel loads, it billows. It's like a cumulonimbus forming itself just that side of your mouth, as it were. But it's performing exceptionally well. It's a doddle to use. I think it's just about the right length of, the right strength of draw for me. I'm pretty sure, Chris, I know you tried it and you found it a bit airy, didn't you?
I've ordered one for Ron today. That's hubby, by the way. So I've got one on its way.
Well,
succumbed.
I think even in the little video window that's alongside your right ear at the minute, folks will be able to see this thing just produces and produces and produces. I had wondered what all the clamour was in the States about the T3, the Kanga T3, and if it's anything like this, I can understand why. really does produce nicely, and it's absolutely chock-a-block with flavour. So you've ordered one for Ron, have you?
I have that. Because when Sav's sitting using it, and I've seen the amount of vapour that comes off it, you know, and I thought, yeah, I mean, I'm the odd one out round here. I like a fairly tight draw, but, you know, Ron's different to me. So I thought, I'm going to try one of them. So I've ordered some of that and some juice off Daz, so, which he's already got on its way to me, so I'm quite excited waiting for that.
Indeed. And there's all kinds of new stuff coming up, of course, isn't there?
Oh, it's exciting times, and it's so sad that it's all been spoilt a bit by the EU directive, because there are so many wonderful new products out there. And I want to be enjoying this time, not sitting worrying about it coming to an end, you know.
Well, I think, you know, the more of us that get out and actually send the emails and see the MPs and the MEPs, the quicker we'll be able to get it sorted. And it looks as though we're making the right noises in the right places. We just need everybody to do it. But I kind of was using that as a little bit of a tease, because one of the members of the team is putting a new segment together for Marco van Basten's show on a Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. I'm not going to say who it is, but I think you'll enjoy it. And it's going to be a hardware roundup. This is all the new stuff that's coming out. He's going to round it all up and let you know what's available, where from, what it is. Not reviews or anything like that. It's just basically, this is what's new on the market. So tune in on a Tuesday night to Vaporscene to find out more about that. I think the first one is next week. I know he's working hard on it at the minute, so that's a bit of a giveaway. There's all kinds of new stuff coming up, and it might be an expensive segment if you don't take it the right way. If you're anything like me, it'll be, I want one of them, I want one of them, I think I'll have one of them, and I want one of them. Sorry, put the links up and I'll buy one of everything. I get a little bit like that, but that's coming up on Tuesday night, so that should all be good as well. Are you keeping an eye on the time, Chris?
No. I was interested in what you're talking about, but we're coming up to 59, so we've got a minute.
Yes, well that means I've got to get my credits ruling, otherwise I shall be in trouble off Chris. But I would like to say a great big thank you to you for coming along and being Keith tonight, Chris.
No problem at all, anytime.
I have to say I've always enjoyed working alongside Chris and Sav when we used to come up and do those madcap witching hours. The replays of which are still available in various different places. I'm really looking forward to Sunday night, because Mr. Kitson will be on with Dave's Tackle Box. I'm looking forward even more to Monday night, if even more were possible, because Monday night we've got the two lads, the two mod fathers, well, the mod father and the mod brother, something along those lines.
My favourite show.
I know it is. And then Tuesday night Marco van Basten, and then next week on Wednesday night more doom and gloom on VT Talk, but it'll all be good. Until then, from Cat and from me, we'll see you when we see you. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. I don't think it's finished yet, you know. Yes, it has. Got to find